Welcome to your new Volkswagen eGolf. Today we're going to run through some of the essential features and functions of your new car to get you up and running.
To start with, you unlock the car by pressing the unlock button on the key. You will also notice there is a button to just unlock the boot directly above it, and at the top there is a button to then lock the car. The charge port locks and unlocks with the central locking of the car. Once the car is unlocked, you can open the charge port by pressing the flap on the far side, then it just springs open for you.
The eGolf's got two charging connections. It's got the Type 2 charging socket at the top here, which you'll use for charging at home or at a public fast charger. Then if you remove this bit below, you've got your CCS charger, which is for rapid charging at somewhere like the motorway services, for example.
To charge the car, you simply insert the charging lead. To release the cable, you need to press the unlock button on the key, and then it can be simply pulled out. Once it's pulled out, you then close the flap. All our cars are supplied as standard with a 3-pin charging lead you can use to charge your car from any normal domestic mains socket. This cable you will find in the boot of the car when it is delivered to you. The eGolf has a compartment under the boot floor where the cables can be stored and where the roadside tyre repair kit can be found.
Now let's move into the car.
Once seated, you can adjust your driver's seat by pulling the handle on the front left of the seat, and then using the wheel and the levers on the side. The steering wheel can also be adjusted by releasing the clasp on the left-hand side of the steering column. Once you are comfortable, you can set your wing mirrors using these switches.
The eGolf you turn on in a very traditional manner. You've got a key with a physical key blade. You insert the key into the steering column, foot on the foot brake, give the key a turn, holding it away from you for a couple of seconds till ready is displayed on the dash. And the car is now on. The car's in park and the handbrake's on, so although the car's on, it's not going anywhere at this point.
To move the car into gear, you need to have your foot on the foot brake, and then you click the trigger on the front of the gear stick and then pull it back into gear. Pull back one click into reverse and you can see a reversing image is displayed on the screen. The eGolf has front and rear sensors as standard. If you pull all the way back, the car is then in drive, which is shown on the dash by either a D or a B symbol being displayed.
The eGolf has a few different Regen braking settings. All are adjusted using the gear stick, and you can set the Regen level to whatever you prefer, according to your driving style or whatever type of drive you're on.
The first drive mode you get to by pulling the gear stick back is the D mode. As you will see, there is a D displayed on the dash.
In the D mode, the car will coast like a regular car, which is a good way to drive if you're driving at constant momentum, say on the motorway, for example. Obviously, it has its adjustable Regen braking settings. By that, I mean if you increase the sort of recuperation level, when you lift off the accelerator, the car will brake itself gently, whilst at the same time adding additional charge back into the battery.
If you push it left once, you will see the dash displays recuperation level 1. If you do it again, it will take it up to recuperation levels 2 and 3, each with a slightly higher automatic Regen braking setting. To move back down the recuperation levels, simply move the gear stick across to the right.
If you push down into the B mode, that's another Regen braking setting. It sets the Regen braking to its maximum, which, to be fair, is the setting I tend to drive in most of the time.
To move back into the D mode from the B mode, pull the gear stick towards you again. Be careful not to push the gear stick forwards to get back into D, as this will put the car into neutral. When parking, simply push the gear selector all the way up, back into the park position. The parking brake is electronic and is located behind the gear selector. The handbrake will automatically release when you touch the throttle. To reapply the handbrake, lift the switch upwards. When applied, you will see the parking brake light displayed on the dash screen.
The eGolf also has an auto hold function, which is rather nice and works just like a Tesla, really. When you're stationary in auto hold mode, if you press the foot brake, it automatically applies the handbrake. Then that automatically disengages when you touch the throttle.
To select or deselect auto hold, you press this button here beside the gear selector. Please note, if you don't have the car in auto hold mode and the car is in gear and the handbrake is off, the car will automatically creep forwards or backwards, slowly like a traditional automatic car. The car is equipped with auto lights, which are set using the dial to the right of the steering wheel. The wipers are controlled using the traditional stalk and the right hand side of the steering wheel. There are some handy buttons on the wheel itself to help you configure the cruise control, as well as buttons to control the audio and infotainment system. The eGolf has a really nice media and infotainment centre, and it's a touchscreen. There are some other settings and displays that we'll go through in depth in our controls video. You control the climate control using the controls located on the centre console. Press auto to turn it on and then set it to your preferred temperature. Your estimated range is shown on the dashboard.
The range predictor will adjust its prediction over time based upon usage. It is just a predictor, and like any range predictor, sometimes it will over-predict, sometimes it will under-predict. So my advice is always to get to know your car and what it can do in your driving style and over your typical journeys.
At the end of every drive, put the car into park and then apply the handbrake and switch the car off by turning the key towards you and then removing it.
I hope this short video has been helpful in going through some of the basics. Be sure to check out the manual in the glove box of the car and of course watch our in-depth run through as well. Obviously we're at the end of the phone if you have any further questions, but thank you very much for watching and enjoy your new eGolf.